Ah, come to daddy. Alrighty. So now that we got the oh-so-wonderful audio cue out of the way, hey boys, are you ready for a guild war against some, like, top 100 guild that's easily, like, way out of our fucking league? Well, let's go on ahead and, respond in kind by doing a whole bunch of really stupid shit. So first and foremost, we've got Hwayoung, Midnight Gala, Lilias, and a Magic Scholar Doris. Now, Doris is there strictly to bait Apocalypse Ravi, and then we also had our two fast units going in. Now, first things first, we went in immediately with Midnight Gala Lilias into Navy Captain Landy. Kind of an okay decision. Thankfully, we did more than half damage, but honestly, when you have no information and you have no fucking clue what the HP values of the units are, I'm taking unnecessary risks. And then also because I was straight up not paying attention in the slightest to the HP value of that Sharun, I decided, oh yeah, what's the worst that could happen? Let's go ahead and S3 into that Sharun with Hwayoung, and then we'll just straight up, we'll delete that. Yeah, she didn't have a lot of HP, so we didn't kill it. Thankfully, we were able to correct our mistake, use Magic Scholar Doris, CR boost our way up to the top with Midnight Gala Lilias, because we didn't take a lot of damage at this point yet, so we don't need to heal. We'll then use this, wrap around, kill the Sharun with Midnight Gala Lilias, and then also we'll go into the Navy Captain Landy, who just so happened to be asleep, because she didn't do any counters and any salvos or any of that other shit. Don't you guys just love how, like, Navy Captain Landy either does literally nothing or she wins you the whole fucking match because LOL RNG? God damn, this game's in a fucking great meta right now. And we then eventually kill the Apocalypse Ravi because LOL damage. So, on to this next one. So, first and foremost, this is a Ran, Senya, and then also a Lilias. Now, two things in particular that are kind of weird about this match. First and foremost, one, this is like not an RNL Ran, that's actually like Alabastron. And the other thing that's also really, really weird, you'll see it in just a minute. First, the Lilias did not have her CR pushing EE. I was kind of surprised by that. But then the second thing is actually going to come up in just a moment. It should be right... Nope, it's actually right here. Take a good look at that HP value. So, that Senya has next to no HP. She's squishy as hell. She must have, like, a lot of attack or something. Maybe she has a lot of effectiveness. I don't know. But either way, we went into this with Silvertide, Christy, Elena, and Lone Crescent Bellona, and we were able to retaliate with some counterattacks onto the Ran, and also just with Elena's S3 in general, because that is a hit that also gives the entire team invincibility, gets rid of his skill null, and then we'll eventually go through, use the Lone Crescent Bellona S3, wipe him off the map, and basically, now that we've taken care of the one really true threat, that being Ran, this team's free to go into. And it was right here that I noticed, holy fuck, that Senya is made of fucking paper. So, normally what I would do is I would hard focus into the Lilias until I absolutely have to go into the Senya. But here, fuck it, let's just go into the Senya. We will straight up delete her. And now all you have left is Lilias. Now, we're going to see this exact same team yet again in the very next match, so I'll talk a little bit more about it there. But hey, so far, we haven't lost using this team yet going into Ran, Lilias, and Senya, and it's been extremely effective. So, let's see it again. So, basically right here, now we're seeing probably going to be a Lilias that's going to be doing a lot of damage because she's using Brieg's artifact, Broken Will of the Priest. I was legit fucking confused as hell when I saw that at first because I thought, wait, is that on Ran? Because it was focused on him. And then right here you see Shazam, RNL. So everything kind of worked out in this situation, especially because this Ran was easily rocking over 100 effectiveness. So maybe he didn't have a whole lot of actual damage to go along with him, because he straight up didn't crit my Elena. Now, if this was a real Ran, and he was just straight up doing hardcore damage, I still don't know how effective this team really does against a 2311 from a Ran. Now, I haven't been hit by a 2311 yet, but I have been RNL'd at least a few times. And whenever I'm saying 2311, I mean S2 RNL, S3, and then S1 RNL, S1. That is basically like the #1 worst thing that could ever happen to you in terms of an RNL proccing. And I haven't had that happen on this team yet, but I still kind of think I would be okay. Because if you're going to be RNLing, you should go into Elena. But then at the same time, I can't really guarantee it, because the way in which we have this set up is we have Silvertide Christy, who's going to have Bastion of Perlucia. That's going to give a barrier to Lone Crescent Bellona in the back, and if the Ran is not rocking like any effectiveness whatsoever, he might not actually strip it. So then he'll just do damage to that, and then do damage to Elena, and then she should be the target that goes into, so you shouldn't be at risk of 2311. But I don't know, man. There's so many goddamn numbers in this fucking game, you can really just never tell. But either way, that was another round going into the Ran, Lilias, and Senya. And now, this is probably one of my favorite matches in the entirety of this Guild War that we did. So it's Ocean Breeze Luluca, Last Rider Krau, and then also Urban Shadow Choux. I've said it before, I will say it again. Urban Shadow Choux is probably one of the strongest fucking injury units in the entire fucking game. And Illynav was one of the premier injury units. And she recently got a buff a little while ago, and it's pretty good. But then, like, this was before Urban Shadow Choux came out. And Urban Shadow Choux just dwarfs her in terms of, like, injury effectiveness. So, basically, because we also have Solitaria of the Snow with us, we don't have to deal with any of these focus mechanics on any of these characters. Two things. One, we don't have to worry about Ocean Breeze Luluca doing any of her, any of the Lulucar shenanigans. We don't have to worry about Urban Shadow Choux really going absolutely nuts with the S3 as well. We're going to still take the damage from the S3 and also the bzzz. But as long as we're able to go ahead and keep her under control, which we managed to do for at least a little bit, we happen to get 2 stuns here, but then I'm starting to realize, well, wait a minute. This is a Proof of Valor Urban Shadow Choux. So because it's Proof of Valor, we're basically going to be wasting a lot of time going into her, and this actually could be detrimental. So then I just decide, okay, so we need to start, like, moving some stuff around here, because we're doing way too many AoE attacks. This is going to then, in turn, set the Last Rider Krau off, and the Last Rider Krau is really going to start to, like, do some damage to us. So I think right here was around the last time I attempted to go into Urban Shadow Choux, and then I decided to just pivot, and I need to start moving into some other units. For starters, I have almost no injury on Last Rider Krau right now, and we need to fix that ASAP, because if he doesn't have injury on him, we're going to be taking pretty big damage from Mobile Weapon Siegfried. So I may go into it here, or I still keep going into Choux. I was kind of hoping for an S2 proc, because I really, really don't want to get hit by Bzzzt. Because Bzzzt is also really, really bad going into Illynav, because she's an HP scaling knight. And, well, whenever you lose a lot of your HP via injury, you just start doing less and less damage. Now, thankfully for us, the S3 that the Solitaria was able to throw onto the Last Rider Krau straight up put him out of commission for a little bit. So, let's go in with another Illynav S3, give ourselves crit damage buff, and also because, well, we didn't have Illynav's Swift attack on her. We had that the previous turn, so we don't get our turn immediately, which is the really fun thing to use with Illynav and Ahmed if you ever have the two together. Now, by the way, right here, I go for the Soul Burn because the Soul Burn for that attack is strong as hell, and the injury, or the additional damage that you deal on a unit who has injury, is also extremely effective as well. So now, Urban Shadow Choux's gone, and here comes another Mobile Weapon Siegfried. Right here at this moment, I thought I was kind of fucked. Well, not really, like, I didn't think I was going to lose, but I definitely thought I was going to lose Ahmed right here. Thankfully, he does just shy of enough damage to actually kill me. And then we're able to get another Elbrus proc. I don't even know if that was multiple Elbrus procs or if that was the first one. Probably would have been like the second or third. Who fucking knows? I'm not really counting at this point. But basically, we go into that. Hey, LOL, another extra attack that hits the whole team, and now we have to deal with barriers again. But thankfully, we happen to get that proc right there. And that might have been a proc, might have been an S2. You can probably tell I'm not really paying attention. Either way, this match was a ton of fun, just from the sheer amount of back and forth of just trying to keep Ahmed safe. Was really, really, really fun. And also, whenever you get the opportunity to utilize Swift Attack on Ahmed, and you put it on a unit that gives themselves 50% CR in the first place, this is really fun with both Illynav, this is really fun with Midnight Gala Lilias. You can just, like, really, really hyper-focus or just hyper-go down the CR bar. But then right here, we happen to get our turn. Let's go ahead and finish it off with a wonderful S3 Ultimate Repel. Forgot to say, going ahead and grab a drink and kick it back. Now, the thing that you all were probably clicking on the video to even see. Hey, look, it's Midnight Gala Lilias. Hi, Midnight Gala Lilias. Bye, Midnight Gala Lilias. So, Basically, to any of you who happened to see that and you didn't even really know what the fuck just happened. So this is Urban, no. This was Unbound Knight Arowell, ae-KARINA, and then a Midnight Gala Lilias. So basically, you have one Tank Buster unit, and then you have one Bruiser unit that's there to like kind of deal with the squish. That being, you know, ae-KARINA. And then you have one Protection unit for everything else. However, what if we just had a unit that could just go into it, that Midnight Gala Lilias could just go into, and just straight up kill herself? Well, that's exactly what happens. Thanks to the oh-so-wonderful reflect on Taranor Royal Guard, he's able to do that. Now, the way in which we're able to make that work is we have Yulha's Artifact on him. With Yulha's Artifact, he gives himself a barrier at the very start of the fight. And I also have, like, close to 30-something K HP. So with all of that together, I haven't seen a Midnight Gala Lilias do more than, like, 32K on Element Advantage. So, in that regard, I should be pretty safe. Like, I haven't seen any Midnight Gala Liliases do more than 32K, and I really kind of figure when you hit those kind of stat thresholds, you should be safe. Now, here I was, like, trying in vain of, like, oh, man, maybe I can try to cycle around and Maid Chloe can bring Taranor Royal Guard back. Doesn't really happen. Arunka was able to do enough damage to straight up delete the Unbound Knight Arowell in one hit, and then we were also getting a lot of the additional attack procs, so everything died really before we were even able to get him back. And now, for an oh-so-wonderful team, let's go ahead and break out the extra turn punishment mechanic. So, Conqueror Lilias, Death Dealer Ray, and Navy Captain Landy. So, okay, let's go ahead and throw Benimaru at this, and honestly, the best choice for you to really pick in terms of who you should attack is actually Conqueror Lilias, because she doesn't have crit resist anymore because she took 2 turns. But then I was like, you know what? I kind of want to get rid of Death Dealer Ray. Of course, we don't crit. Whatever. That's just the way in which it works. So, because we actually did a fairly decent amount of damage to Navy Captain Landy, okay, fuck it. Let's just go into her hard with the Midnight Gala Lilias, and Shazam, she's dead. So now that the big damage is gone, all we have left is Death Dealer Ray and Conqueror Lilias. However, one thing I absolutely did not fucking see coming was the fact that the Death Dealer Ray was on Potion Vial. So I was going to put that sumbitch to sleep, but then as soon as like his turn rolled around, oh hey, lol, Potion Vial. I was like, wait, what the fuck? But okay, well, whatever. So now that we were able to really kind of like get our cycling in, straight up, we've deleted the main threat, and that's Navy Captain Landy, and then we were able to go into the DDR because he really was kind of made of paper, and he wasn't really able to do anything. He didn't strip anything effective with his S3, and it really wasn't that much of a problem. Then you just kill Conqueror Lilias, Shazams. Well, damn, boys, that is the end of the Guild War. It was mad quick. Just what I like to see on a fucking Wednesday. But either way, the only other thing there is to really talk about, and it's something that had just come out, is Blooming Lilica. So, like, what's your opinion on the new waifu character? And it's like, well, in all honesty, I really didn't have a lot of expectations really going into her. I kind of figured she was going to be some unit that you would use with a whole bunch of like heavy debuffers on your team, and it's still pretty correct. But like the big thing that kind of feels really, really off is the fact that you need to have a shitload of HP, and then you also need to have a shitload of speed. I was like, well, but Lucent, you don't need to have a shitload of speed, because if you have everything like debuff... Like, I can't quite remember the entire kit. I've used her quite literally 2 times, but I believe she gains speed for the number of debuffs that are on the enemies. So then it's just like, oh, so you don't need to have, like, crazy-ass speed. But I find that if you're trying to rely on, like, over-debuffing the enemy, it's just straight up not really gonna work. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's like I just have some mid-ass gear. I mean, it's literally been 1 day, so I don't really have a proper review to really even say on Blooming Lilica. But she just feels kind of mid right now. I'm sure that will probably change in the very near future. She'll probably find some kind of niche like setting that you can really work with her. For example, like, if you have enough effectiveness on her, she is a unit that can stun. Stun is always something that's very useful when you're not fighting the units that are immune to stun that are kind of fucking broken right now. But either way, like, I mean, how do I feel about her? I'm pretty indifferent. Like, I don't really have much of a thought process really on Blooming Lilica at the moment. But I'll tell you what, guys. If you liked this video, go on ahead and leave a like. It does wonders for my mental health. And if you want to see more of my content, please go on ahead and hit subscribe. Hope to see y'all again soon. Later.